Why is charisma important? In this video, I'm going to share with you why charisma is important to you and your career. And I'm also going to give you tips on how you can develop your charisma starting today. Here we go. John Maxwell says, when it comes to charisma, the bottom line is other-mindedness. Thinking about the person across the table from you, thinking about the person and what's in it for them. All right, let me tell you what dictionary.com says about charisma. It says charisma is the magnetic and charming personal quality that draws people to someone. All right, so what is dictionary.com saying? It's saying that charismatic leaders are seen as highly influential leaders. We could also say that charismatic salespeople are highly successful salespeople. And it would be fair to say that charismatic communicators set their conversational partners at ease. Psychology Today says that charisma is an individual's ability to attract and influence other people. While it is often described as a mysterious quality that one either has or doesn't have, some experts argue that the skills of charismatic people can be learned and cultivated. Charisma is a personal quality evident in the way an individual communicates to others that makes someone more influential. This power to attract attention and influence people can be embodied in the way someone speaks, what someone says, and how someone looks when communicating. So to answer the question, why is charisma important? The answer is this: because it increases your influence in every situation. So the next logical question is, well, how do I develop charisma? Because we want to increase our influence on this channel, right? If you want to increase your influence, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, because that's what this channel is all about. Whether you're in sales, whether you're trying to make your opinion count in the workplace, or you're a leader of teams and you're trying to win people over to your big ideas, you've got to increase your influence. That's what this channel is all about. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button so I can share more content with you every week to increase your influence. But with that, I want to show you a clip, this clip from the 80s with Oprah Winfrey. Check it out.
I know now that I am where I am because I always believed I could get here. Always believed it.
She may have believed it, but how did she get there? When she was 22, she moved to Baltimore and became an anchor woman on a local TV news show.
This was 60 pounds ago.
You mean you were 60 pounds lighter?
60 pounds ago, I think of my life in terms of my thighs. Well, the new sister news director came to me and said, you know, your hair is too long, it's too thick, your eyes are too far apart, your nose is too wide, and your chin's too long, and you need to do something about it. You thought Christina Kraft had a problem. But they sent me to this shishi poo-poo salon, and in a week I was bald. Just devastated.
You mean they did it to your hair?
Yeah, I had a French perm and it all fell out. Every little strand. I was left with 3 little spriggles in the front. Funny to you. They tried to change me, and then they're stuck with a bald black anchor woman. I went through a real period of self-discovery because you have to find other reasons for appreciating yourself. It's certainly not your looks.
Okay, did you see her self-deprecating humor? She was comfortable in her own skin. And even though she was the one being interviewed, she was working hard to try and make Mike Wallace comfortable with her. She's a master of charisma. And it's a huge part of Oprah's success. She has the ability to set people at ease, which is the key to a good interview. And it's the key to charisma. Now, comfort is many times mistaken as confidence in the charismatic person. Now, confidence can be a turn off when it comes on too strong, but comfort with oneself is an attractive quality. Now, I do trainings with groups of people, and one of the self-assessments I use in my trainings is a self-assessment where you have to rate your leadership, and one of the qualities of a leader is charisma. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it is a quality, and I don't define charisma in this assessment. It's just real quick. We're in the classroom and you take it and you grade yourself, right? It just asks you to rate yourself based on your own definition. So I went around the room and I was asking everyone how they rated themselves. And I asked, hey, what's the area that you were lowest in, but you felt like if you improved in this particular area, it would give you the greatest return on your investment of time? And as an added bonus, you actually want to improve in this area, because there's no point in picking an area if you don't desire to change in that area. Well, there was a young woman that worked at the venue. She was in the training, and she actually helped me on my way into the venue and told me where I can set up and what I need to do and what the timeline was and all that kind of stuff. Well, in my brief interaction with this young woman on my way in the room, I picked up on a few things. Number one, she was highly intelligent, super smart, way smarter than me or I could ever hope to be. Okay, super smart. She was very introverted. And then the third thing I picked up on was that she felt very uncomfortable in her own skin. Now, it came around the room to her to speak, and she spoke, and she said that she gave herself the lowest score in the area of charisma. And I said, okay, well, do you want to get better in that area? And she came back at me with a series of questions, trying to understand if it was something she had to get better in, if she wanted to be a better leader. And I went on and explained, kind of like I just did with you, that charisma is not the end-all, be-all for leadership, and you can be a fantastic leader without being a charismatic leader. And I stand by that today. But if you do develop charisma, you will be a greater leader, a more influential leader. And so you want to do that if you want to increase your influence as a leader, as a salesperson, or as a communicator. But to be charismatic, you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable in your own skin. And I don't know if you've ever been around a person that is so uncomfortable in their own skin that after a while they start to make you feel uncomfortable around them. You're just kind of walking on you're on pins and needles. You're walking on eggshells, and they're so uncomfortable and awkward. And sometimes they even try to hide themselves with their clothing, maybe with a hoodie on or a hat or a beanie, or just covering their entire body with clothing in the middle of summer, right? And you're like, what is the problem? They're just trying to hide, right? They're so uncomfortable in their own skin, whether it's how they look, whether it's how they present themselves, whether how they speak, or they just have been squished down in their self-esteem. Whatever the case is, they're uncomfortable in their own skin. After a little while, you don't want to be around that person because they make you feel uncomfortable. That would be the opposite of charisma, because that person doesn't set you at ease. They make you uncomfortable, which is the opposite of charisma. See, many times, just like those definitions, that's why I read those definitions. Hey, they're in dictionary, they're in Psychology Today. I don't totally agree with them, because I believe a truly charismatic person like Oprah that I just showed you that video, how do they get that way? Yes, absolutely. Some people are naturally born with that, but many times they've developed that skill of making other people feel comfortable. And to do that, you first have to feel comfortable in your own skin. So let me give you 3 tips for developing charisma. Number 1, get comfortable in your own skin. Okay, what does that mean? It means use self-deprecating humor. Oprah was a perfect example of this. She talked about her weight. She made fun of herself, and she went on, right? I hate to use this term. It was the elephant in the room, right? It was the obvious thing, and something that she battles in public. She can't hide it, right? If you're battling with your weight, you can't hide it. It's right there. So you might as well address it, get comfortable with it, and move on with it. Robert Frost said this. He said, if we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane. It's good to laugh. There's a Chinese proverb that says, blessed are those who can laugh at themselves. They shall never cease to be entertained. Look, get comfortable in your own skin. Go through the journey. Part of that just means maybe going through the strategic career coaching program, free webinar. I can't say that enough, guys. Free webinar with free packet. This is something that my coaching clients pay me to go through with them. I want to give it to you for free. Obviously, I can't do one-on-one coaching with you for free, but you can get this packet. You can go through the questions by yourself and answer the questions and really determine, hey, what are you good at, right? You've got skills, you've got gifts, you've got talents, you've got abilities, you've got things that you are good at. Like I said, that girl that was very uncomfortable in her own skin, she is super, super smart. Way smarter than me. That's where she shines, right? And that's where she can be confident and comfortable in her own skin, knowing that her intellect is well above the average. And own that and be comfortable with that. And don't use it to make other people feel uncomfortable. Use it to make other people feel comfortable, to explain things, to make the complicated simple for folks. If you're smart, you can do that. Whatever it is. But I want you to get comfortable in your own skin. And part of that is being able to laugh at yourself. All right, the next step is to set others at ease. And I want you to watch a clip from a true master at setting others at ease. This is an interview I did last year, and you should watch it. Check it out. One of my good friends, Cherie. Here it is. Hey, Drew here with Influence Trainer, and I'm with my great friend Cherie, and I'm so happy to be here. Cherie is a fantastic business owner. She's a coach, speaker, trainer, and also has another business that you and your husband run, and amazing. But where we know each other is through the John Maxwell team. We're both coaches.
Absolutely.
And she runs our Dallas-Fort Worth kind of division, our group there. There's like, 150?
There's almost 200 now.
Almost 200 members in this group just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And Cherie is the welcoming party, the organizer, the everything. And one thing that I noticed that when we talk about influence on this channel, one of the abilities of an influential person is the ability to set people at ease and make them feel relaxed and comfortable and welcomed. And that is something you do very, very well. And so I simply want to ask the question of Cherie, how do you set people at ease? So tell us.
Thanks, Drew. Well, I think the thing is most people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for somebody who's truly interested in seeing them, looks them in the eye. What does your body language look like? So squaring up to talk to someone. Also food. Anytime, if you know, a lot of our events, are around, there's something very intimate about breaking bread together. And so I always try to make sure that, we have some type of food activity or something. So, but it's just, and it's being interested in them. It's getting out of your own way and not worrying about making sure everyone knows who you are. It's more important for you to know who they are. And so, people, that's their first thing they love to tell about themselves. And so I think just taking the time to really be authentic with someone, genuinely be interested in where they are, who they are, and what's going on in their life. And then, like I said, food's just the icing on the cake. So.
Wasn't that fantastic? If you want to, I would encourage you to watch it again. Watch the body language of Cherie, the body language tips. Look people in the eyes, right? Show them that you value them. You value their opinion. Listen to what they say. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be authentic, and then ask people about themselves. Let them talk about themselves. And tip number 3, make it okay for them to be comfortable with you. I say this in my sales trainings all the time. If you're too busy judging people, you're never going to sell them. You'll never be able to sell a potential client if you're busy judging them. Well, you know what is true about sales? It's true about leadership. If you're too busy judging the people that you are trying to lead, you will never lead them. And if you're too busy judging the people you're trying to connect with in a conversation, a coworker, a peer, you will never connect with them. We have an aversion. We all have these little antennas up that is looking and sensing and feeling and trying to figure out, does this person really care about me? Do they value me? Do they value my opinion? Or are they judging me? Are they critiquing me in their mind? Are they mocking me in their mind? So you've got to let people know that, hey, it's okay to be yourself around me. It's the 101% rule. Find the one thing that you have in common with people. Give it 100% of your energy and effort. Look, I don't care what your political views are. I don't care what your religious views are. I don't care what your opinions are on different things. If I'm sitting across the table from you, we're trying to connect right now. Okay, we're trying to find common ground, especially in that sales situation, especially in that leadership situation, especially if you want to increase your influence in the workplace with your peers. You've got to put away the judgmental mindset and you've got to connect with people. Okay, I went off on that, but I got to make that point because we've got a lot of judging going on in our culture today. And it's all over social media and it's telling people they're wrong because of whatever. Hey, you're never going to influence people if you're always telling them that they're wrong. Okay, Les Brown says this. Here's another way that you can influence people. Les Brown says your smile will give you a positive countenance that will make people feel comfortable around you. Smile more. Everybody, smile more. I don't care if you smile a lot, smile more. Laugh more. I laugh all the time. It sets people at ease. The idea of charisma is largely communicated indirectly or subconsciously. And that makes it tough, right? Steven Erickson said this. He said, human dynamics are amazing, but so much that you might learn is subconscious interplay. So what do you have to do? You've got to be a student of people. Like I said, go back and watch the interview. Watch the Oprah interview again. Back it up. Watch that Oprah interview again. Watch her body language. Watch how she is reading Mike Wallace's eyes. Watch how he is laughing and he's hanging on every word that she has. You got to understand, at this point in time, at the time of that interview, Mike Wallace was more famous than Oprah Winfrey. Now that's hard to imagine, but that's the facts of what was going. His show was nationwide. She was just getting ready to go nationwide. Okay? So why is he hanging on every word? It's because she has this ability to draw you in by being comfortable in her own skin, by working to make you feel comfortable, and by letting you know that you can be comfortable with her. So I want you to watch Oprah. I want you to watch Cherie. And I want you to answer a quick question down in the comments below. Answer this: in what ways will you practice improving your ability to make great first impressions and develop charisma? All right, I'll see you on the next video.
If you found value from this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. To receive the free influence assessment, simply click on the link below that says Influence Assessment. If you have any questions or comments about influence, please comment below and I will look forward to connecting with you. Always remember, increase your influence, realize your dream.